Darryl, you're brought in here to kind of help establish a defensive identity. How important is this coming in today to show when you're not shooting well, you get some free throws, but defensively you can force your way back into the game and get a signature win?
It's big. I didn't play a lot of college games. I done seen a lot of, different things, different endings. I didn't want it a bunch of different ways. I think it was big for our young guys to see that, we just stay persistent, keep guarding, and get stops when we're supposed to, we got a chance to win. I don't really think anything went our way today. We missed a lot of free throws. We missed a lot of shots that we usually make or that we work on a lot. But our theme of the week was just audacity. And I just like how we had the audacity to, stay confident and find a way to get that win today.
Illinois was really hot early in the second half, got it up to 12. Just what were y'all saying at that point? What was you doing to the team? Because after that 12-point run, they got up to 12. You answered right back, and you were a big part of that.
Yeah. Well, when we got in the huddle, I just told them they're the number 10 team in the country for a reason. I knew coming out in the second half they was going to make a run. It was just about how we responded to it. I think we responded pretty well. Some of that run was part of my fault. I let Frazier go a couple times and get some shots that I shouldn't have allowed. But I just like how we fought. We got the bonus. We got to the free throw line. And we just responded. We always talk about response as a team. Just like how we found a way to get this win. We just responded the appropriate way. We stuck together, so it was great.
Kerr was really active back there, blocking shots, getting steals. When he's playing like that, how does that energize the defense?
I love it. Being a defensive team and, having a guy like Kerr on the back end, cleaning up everything is phenomenal. He played terrific in the second half. I think he had 4 or 5 blocks alone just in the second half. So it was great to see him. He's getting back to himself. So I loved it. He stepped up, made some big free throws. Being a veteran guy, he just got to keep playing with confidence. And it's going to come. So it was great seeing him play that way today.
Yeah, on the back there. The guy to your right, it's his first big win as a head coach at Marquette. It's also your first big win at Marquette. What does it mean to you to do this together?
It means a lot. I got here this summer with this group of guys, and they all just took me in and embraced who I was as a person, and just respected me. So just playing with these guys, living with them, practicing, competing every day. It's great to get a win like this because we know how hard we work. We know that we're capable of it. So for it to finally show it's good. And I think this should be like confidence building for us and our young guys. Because, like I said, not too much went our way. We couldn't make free throws. We was missing open shots. But like I said, the theme of this game was audacity. I just like how we had the audacity to keep fighting and win this game.
Darryl, you and Trent Frazier have had your battles over the years when you were in Maryland, and he would score down the last 10 minutes of the game. Did that familiarity with him kind of help you shut him down those last 10 minutes?
I feel like he got going. I lost him a couple times early in the second half when they made their run. I was trying to, cheat plays and beat him in the spots. I think, as a team, we kind of just locked in and played man-to-man defense. And it was great. I just tried to keep him in front, make it as tough as I could for him. He's a good player, though. But it was great, to get the win. I'm all about winning. So, we needed stops. We was losing. You can't win if you're down, you can stop. So, I was just focused on getting stops and making it as tough as I could. And luckily, things went our way and we found a way to get it.
Darryl, at the end there, you guys were up 1, and the last couple of seconds, that was probably the biggest defensive possession that you guys had all game. What was the feeling and mindset going into that final possession, and the feeling when you guys were able to punch it out and just secure the one with the steal?
So when Tyler got fouled, we kind of huddled up at the free throw line, and we just talked about one stop. I looked at all the guys, and I'm like, bro, we worked too hard to fight back to give it up on one possession. we talked about getting one stop and finishing it with a rebound. But Stevie is a hell of a on-ball defender, and I'm really proud of him. He stepped up to the line late. He missed 2 free throws. I just told him forget about it. Make a play. That's what he did. He guarded the hell out of the ball on that possession. He got a steal. And he got us to win. So that was all we really talking about.
That's it for Darryl. Thanks. Thanks, Darryl.
Yep.
Really proud of Darryl and his teammates for believing in each other and believing in themselves. As you mentioned, the theme of this game, we always have a game theme, was audacity. Not a lot of people outside our locker room gave us much of a chance to win this game, playing against a top 10 team. But the guys believed, and the guys stayed together. I thought Illinois made a heck of a run, just making shots and making plays to take a big lead, 12-point lead with halfway through the second half. But our guys just hung in there, and it's human nature to get frustrated when some plays aren't going your way on the offensive end. But as a team that has a desperation to win, you can't allow that to affect defense. And I thought our guys throughout the game did not let it affect our defensive end, and obviously came up big with 10 out of the last 11 stops.
Shaka, we've talked a lot about establishing a culture here. How big is a win like this for, you didn't shoot well, you didn't knock down free throws, but defensively, you guys turned them over, got steals in the final minute, end of the game on the trail. How big is that to kind of settle your vision?
Yeah, it's big because, when you have games that, come down to the end like this, and when you don't shoot the ball very well, miss some free throws, some guys don't necessarily have their best offensive night. For guys to learn that they can win anyway, which is a key phrase for us, win anyway, that gives you more belief the next time you're in that situation. And I'm really proud of our guys because, let's face it, we've not been in a game like this together as a group. Darryl's been in games like this at Maryland. Other guys that have played college basketball elsewhere or here have been in games like this, but nobody together as a team on our group. And our guys, they just stayed together. The way they were talking in the huddles, they believed that they could win. That was a big key.
Coach, you were back there. After the game, I kind of followed you around center court. It looked like you took a moment and looked around, and just wondering what's running through your mind.
Just trying to enjoy the moment. I thought our crowd was phenomenal, and particularly our students, but everybody in the building. There was great energy, and so after the game, just I'm big. I emphasize this a lot with the team and with myself of just being present, and so I was just trying to be in that moment and kind of soak that in. Look at the crowd, look at our guys, look at our students enjoying the win, and try to refrain from what I normally do, which is thinking about like the next game, like immediately when the game ends. But it's I told Dr. Lovell and Bill, I'm really grateful to be here at Marquette and have this opportunity to coach these guys. And this is just the beginning for us. And there's going to be twists and turns and ups and downs. We're probably not going to win every game, but I think this is a really good step for us, for our guys to understand that you can win a game like this and you can come back when we're down double figures against a good team.
Coach, one of the biggest things you pride yourself in is the defense, especially your defense. And you were able to turn the ball over 26 times against Illinois. So how does it feel knowing when you go into more of the top teams in the country like Villanova and UConn, that you can play with one of the top teams in the
country? Yeah, I mean, interestingly, if we could have defensive rebounded a lot better than we did tonight, then our defense could have been significantly better. But the way that our guys got our hands on the basketball, I believe we were right at our deflection goal number of 32. It's amazing how that works. Like, we needed every one of those, including the one down the stretch Tyler had. But if we can have that type of activity, I thought a big key, Illinois is one of the best pick and roll teams in the country. And I thought Kirk and Oso guarding the screener did a heck of a job, just as we say, impacting the screen, and not out with a lot of comfort. One time Curry even plucked the guy, took it from him, which is rare for someone so big. But yeah, I mean, our guys were really committed to defense. I thought our first two games, our defense was not as good as it needed to be. Tonight, a lot better against a higher quality team. There's certainly a lot of room for growth, particularly on the rebounding side. But, it's November, so we just want to keep getting better.
Coach, since October, you've been talking about Tyler's shooting ability and everything he can do on the court. When he got that steal that led to that layup and he got that foul, what was going through your head, and how confident were you in his leadership in those moments?
Yeah, I'm happy for him because he took a heck of a hit to his leg in the last game. And he has been, him and Brandon Yoder, our athletic trainer, they have been working around the clock. I don't think he's slept, Tyler. I mean, he's been getting treatment like nonstop on that knee. He didn't practice the last 2 days. He was not 100%, but he's such a gritty, tough kid. And he actually did some of his best defensive possessions down the stretch that I've ever seen him have. I'm on him a lot about defense. I always ask him, are you offensive minded or defensive minded? In basketball, you can be both. But I'm really proud of the way he just showed grittiness. He's our best passer by far. And then for him to make those back-to-back threes, we needed those because obviously we were struggling to shoot the ball.
You said you have a theme for every game, like without that. Is that something that's always been part of your career, have kind of theme for each game, or is that something you kind of started this year?
Started a few years ago. I'm a big believer in saying the same thing in different ways, because I think with young people, if you say the same thing the same way, eventually it kind of loses its effect. But the reality is what goes into winning doesn't really change. So it's not like, we can have a theme of like, something that's completely different. So our themes, are a lot of the things that we already promote and preach to these guys on a daily basis. Sometimes it has to do like more with the mentality. Other times it has to do with, the physicality we need to play with. And the theme only works if the guys make it work. And tonight they did.
Shaka mentioned Kerr, I'm sure Kerr would tell you he didn't play as well as he could have the first couple games.
Yeah, he was awesome.
How does that energize the defense when he sees that his lane from backline?
I think when he is lost in a fight, he's as good a shot blocker as there is in college basketball. And I saw it firsthand coaching against him when he was at Oklahoma. And that's one of the reasons that we were so excited about him deciding to come here. The last couple games, Kerr has very, very high expectations for himself. And he felt like he was letting his team down, and he let it kind of snowball into, a little bit of frustration. And what happened is it took him out of the present play. And I just told him these last couple of days, he and I had a little bit of a confrontation the other day in practice, because I was trying to get him to just change his mentality. But I told him just focus on what you can control in the current moment. And I thought, again, with this pick and roll defense, did a great job of that. And then just staying with plays and the way he blocked shots, that was special.
Shaka, how were you guys able to bother Andre Curvelo? A lot of people think he'd be one of the best point guards in the country.
He is one of the best point guards in the country. He's terrific. But we just tried to, our plan was to start Darryl on him, which we did. But then Frazier got going so much, he had to make a switch there. And, we're fortunate Curvelo picked up foul trouble in the first half. So I think anytime that happens to a player, it can affect the rhythm a little bit. And then in the second half, I thought Stevie Mitchell and our team did a nice job. And again, our bigs did a nice job of trying to impact him on the screen. He got in the lane a lot and he got downhill a lot, but we didn't stop on the play. and we made some of his shots tougher, contested shots. I'm sure as the year goes on, he'll make a lot of those, but, tonight, to be able to force him to 4 for 18 is huge. And we knew, with Kofi being out that, Corbello and Frazier were going to be the two guys we had to do a great job on. And, we did a heck of a job on one of them, the other one had a great game.
That's it, thanks. Got,
Thank you,
fireworks coming in.